कैसे साइकोलॉजी वहाँ से शुरू हुई है and how Krishan ji was such a great therapist.
This is a text which really helps you a lot in dealing with life and also how to be resilient.
But even though our curriculum was very redundant, I mean, we were just reading, you know, the theory, the papers, the textbooks, but we were never given the practical exposure that I see Rishihood students getting.
We have not only changed the curriculum, accordingly we are having multidisciplinary faculty.
Yes. So do you think AI is capable of such emotions?
Practically there are very multiple layers of understanding this particular question.
And I think different disorders have different waves. Any last message that you wish to give to the audience, the 12th class students especially?
Yeah, I think for the 12th class students who are graduating this year, just be clear of what you want.
Hello, so we are back at episode 2. I'm still at Rishihood University, but now I'm not talking to any student. I'm talking to a very experienced faculty at Rishihood. मेरे जितने students से बात हुए हैं, everybody is such a fan of her. Hello ma'am, welcome to my show. This is a podcast and I'm the founder of Gen Z Therapist. We're a mental health organization. But please introduce yourself. We would love to know about you.
Okay. Namaste. Myself Dr. Sakshi Varmani Rishi and I'm working here as an associate professor in School of Psychology and Education. So I have an experience of teaching from the past 17 years. So this is my 18th year.
Wow.
Okay. And I'm a hardcore teacher educator. I train individuals who want to be teacher.
Wow. So like a mentor.
Yeah. Okay, and I'm affiliated previously before joining Rishihood. I was affiliated with IP University College, Guru Gobind Singh Indraprasth University. So I did MA in Education, Political Science, and right now I'm pursuing MA in Psychology also. And my PhD is on Bhagavad Gita.
Wow.
So wherein I found components of emotional intelligence in the shlokas of Bhagavad Gita for the upliftment of teachers, basically, because we as an educators, we as a teachers, we are dealing with thousands of learners. So it is very important to imbibe such skills in the minds of learners. So this is basically my journey, and I think in the coming 1 or 2 months, I'll be a certified psychotherapist also.
Wow.
I'm a certified life skill trainer from Singapore University.
Great.
So this is just a brief about
तो आपका
myself.
रोल श्री कृष्ण जैसा है.
Oh, please.
Like you've been navigating teachers ना, जैसे मार्गदर्शी तो हो ही. मतलब हम लोगों के ना पहले मेरा जो पहला पॉडकास्ट था उसमें एक मैंडी सर थे, साइकाइट्रिस्ट, तो उन्होंने भी भगवद गीता की ही बात की, कैसे साइकोलॉजी वहाँ से शुरू हुई है एंड हाउ कृष्ण जी वाज सच अ ग्रेट थेरेपिस्ट. सो इस पर आपका क्या व्यू है? लाइक आपने भगवद गीता से साइकोलॉजी की क्या क्या लर्निंग्स या फिर क्या मेंटल हेल्थ रिलेटेड चीज़ें सीखी?
I'll start with my journey. कि why I choose Bhagavad Gita as my study. It's a bit very personal, but I don't want to disclose that thing. At the age of 10 years, that was my turning point of my life, where I lost someone very close to my heart.
Okay.
एट दैट टाइम बचपन में ही हमने अपने घर पे भगवद गीता को पढ़ा है, सुना है फ्रॉम माई ग्रैंड मॉम, फ्रॉम माई मॉम, कि दिस इज़ अ टेक्स्ट विच रियली हेल्प्स यू अ लॉट इन डीलिंग विद लाइफ एंड ऑल्सो हाउ टू बी रेजिलेंट.
सेल्फ डिस्कवरी
या सेल्फ अवेयरनेस भी आपको इसी टेक्स्ट से मिलता है बहुत, बिकॉज बहुत सी ऐसी चीज़ें हैं जो आपको इस टेक्स्ट में मिलेंगी इफ़ यू रियली वांट टू बी हैविंग द इन डेप्थ नॉलेज ऑफ दैट टेक्स्ट.
राइट.
सो जब हम महाभारत सीरियल देखते थे टीवी पे, दूरदर्शन वाला, बिकॉज आर फेज इज ऑफ दूरदर्शन नॉट केबल,
मुझे बोला है वो
रामायण एंड महाभारत. तो जो कृष्णा कहाँ से काउंसलर, कहाँ से गाइड किया उन्होंने अर्जुन को, बिकॉज अर्जुन वॉज अ वेरी ग्रेट वॉरियर, बट at the same time he was in emotional turmoil. So right now this is the phase of today's learners. So मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि हर एक learner को, हर एक individual, it's not only about learners, it's about me and you also, कि we all want that one person in our life जो हमें guide करे हमारे उस difficult situations में जहाँ पे हमें मॉम डैड से बात नहीं करनी पड़ती, क्योंकि हम बहुत डरते भी हैं, बिकॉज देयर इज़ अ जनरेशन गैप. या हमें कोई ऐसा फ्रेंड, कोई काउंसलर, कोई गाइड चाहिए. सो मे बी द सिनेरियो ऑफ अर्जुन एंड कृष्णा इन द बैटल फील्ड ऑफ कुरुक्षेत्र.
यस.
वो एक थोड़ा सा कैची था और किस तरीके से अर्जुन को उस इमोशनल
कि
टर्मोइल से
मतलब
लाए।
उन्होंने कभी भी सोल्यूशन नहीं दिया,
हाँ।
हमेशा रिडल्स दी कि वो
या,
खुद ही कंक्लूजन
खुद
पे
से ही।
पहुंचे।
ये बहुत ज़रूरी है ना, बिकॉज जब आप वो स्पून फीडिंग करते हो लर्नर्स को तो उसमें प्रॉब्लम आती है, क्योंकि दे आर नॉट एबल टू स्टैंड इन सोसाइटी। यू जस्ट यू नो, वो कहते हैं ना, हल्की सी बस आप अपना हाथ पकड़ाइए, पूरा तो वो खुद से ही चलेंगे।
We've talked to Rishihood ke students, we've talked to teachers, and now I am with Dean of the university. So can you please introduce yourself to the audience?
Okay. I am Sushil Chandra. Since last 2 years, I am Dean School of Psychology and Education in Rishihood University. Before than that, for 37 years, I was working with the Defense Research and Development Organization. And there also my work was more on cognitive assessment and enhancement of soldiers.
Wow. So sir, your transition from defense to now you becoming dean to the education sector, how was it?
I think whatever I could gather an experience or learning in my research arena, which was for 37 years, I am trying to give it back to the society, and in that case, the best are learners.
Yes.
So I am trying to contribute whatever my learning or experiences, giving back to the society through learners.
Perfect. And why did you choose psychology ka hi department?
Okay, that's a wonderful question. Actually, I'm truly multidisciplinary from my education background itself. My BTech is in electronics, MTech is in bioinstrumentation, and PhD is in cognitive science.
Okay.
So because of my experience for more than 2 decades and my last qualification also in cognitive science, that is why I opted for psychology, where I could contribute as best as possible.
Wow. So sir, जो मेरे अभी तक students और teachers के साथ interaction रहे हैं, what I've gathered is that Rishihood and psychology department also promotes a lot of Indian psychology and per se the very nuances of psychology. India का जो basics हम जाते हैं ना, तो आपका उसमें why Rishihood is promoting so much of and incorporating so much about India and the knowledge?
Okay, answer is threefold. One is by the name of the university itself, it is very well clear that how we are more inclined towards Indic way. That is one answer. Second is, I am also perfectly the supporter of Indian knowledge system because it's quite rich. Third part, I think I'll try to complete, it is not only Indic way which Rishihood is trying to work in psychology. We are trying to cover the whole spectrum, starting from Indic way to the complete Western way. That is why we are covering Bharatiya Parampara also up to the level of neuroscience, neurocognition. So we are covering the whole spectrum because we are preparing the learners not only for India but for any kinds of challenges or any part of the world.
Yeah, and that is why I also been to the laboratory, I've also been to that ECG machine, I've also seen that, and I've never ever seen any university incorporating such science. So that is kudos on your part and on the entire department.
Yeah, I appreciate because we have done 2 changes. One is we established a human augmentation lab for which you may get more inputs from Dr. Kanishk.
Yes, we would.
But that is the need of the hour today because of Elon Musk. Now everybody knows about Neuralink.
Yeah.
So neuroscience and neurocognition, in case if you are only teaching, but you are not exposing the students with the practicals, and not only practicals, rather on the live projects, they'll not be trained for future.
Absolutely, sir. Sir, I mean, I've been coming from the best of the institution, LSR, but even though our curriculum was very redundant, I mean, we were just reading, the theory, the papers, the textbooks, but we were never given the practical exposure that I see Rishihood students getting, the research papers that they're publishing it, they're writing their books. That was very fascinating for me to even interact. The kind of flair they have even in their communication skills was phenomenal.
There also I'll add 2 points. One is like, as you said it, we have not only changed the curriculum, accordingly we are having multidisciplinary faculty.
Yes.
So that is one part. Second part is that, as you said, related to communication skills. Let me appreciate my learners also, because they are showing quite a good interest. And we are trying to facilitate as best as possible in that sense.
Yes.
Our even first year students, even this time, are going for internship in Ramanoor Lohia Hospital, where they will be recording electroencephalogram EEG signal for anxiety patients,
That is.
which, as you said it, is normally not there in most of the institutes.
I mean, मुझे मास्टर्स में भी इतना एक्सपीरियंस नहीं मिला था सर, एंड देयर जस्ट फर्स्ट, मैं पॉडकास्ट करते हुए भूल गई थी दैट आई एम एक्चुअली टॉकिंग टू फर्स्ट ईयर बैचलर के स्टूडेंट्स. दे हैड सो मच एक्सपीरियंस और आई एक्चुअली थॉट कि मैं कोई मास्टर्स के बच्चों से बात कर रही हूँ, तो दैट वाज रियली गुड.
I'm happy to listen that if the learners are sharing such kind of an experience. But I'm also proud, even my final year student of the last batch, they had performed so well. I'll not compare with any university, but I can easily claim her UG thesis work is better than any other institute.
Even the PhD level.
or PhD thesis work.
Wow, I would love to read
Yeah,
that.
you can see that.
You've heard Dean talking, you've heard teachers, students, but now we have a very interesting person. You might have seen a snippet of a very fancy laboratory and an ECG machine. So we have a person behind all the neuroscience and cognitive behind the Rishihood University. So hello Kanishk sir, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Can you just introduce yourself to the audience?
Okay, so my name is Kanishk, and I'm working here as an assistant professor and also founding the lab, which is she was discussing about. The name is Human Augmentation Lab. The Human Augmentation Lab actually deals with a lot of things altogether, but major focus is to work on the enhancement of cognitive profiling, cognitive performance, as well as to do the cognitive profiling of different individuals. It could be students, it could be professionals, it could be getting into the different side of multidisciplinarity. Excuse me.
You can have the water, sir.
That's fine. Multidisciplinarity, let's say how the psychology or the neuroscience application can be applied in different fields. It could be, somewhere in the field of marketing. Let's say neuromarketing is a domain where we can learn about how the neuroscience principle, how the buy button in the brain, how anything which is acting as a stimuli is actually, putting you to decide whether you have to buy this product or not, or
Okay.
how much is it appealing to you, right? So those kind of domains come under this, these kind of questions comes under the domain of neuromarketing.
Okay.
Similarly, we have neurodesign. So in neurodesign, that's a merging of how the neuroscience is giving more insights into the UI UX design, right?
Wow.
So all of us are using mobile phones on the laptop. So you see the kind of logos which are there, the kind of the
Colours.
placements, the colors, the shapes and size of those logos which they use. So it is directly reflecting how humans are capable to judge, or how humans are capable to actually look into those.
So like
specific
integration of neurology, biology, cognitive, psychology.
Yes, I would say instead of neurology, neuroscience is more a specific term, because neurology is more of a clinical side.
Okay.
At UG level, they do clinical. I mean, few of our students are going for
RML
internship
internship.
at RML hospital. Last year also they have done it. So I trained them with the recording of brain scans, right? So these things were there. So, I mean, there are a lot of things to do with our learners, and the kind of approach which we are putting forward for them is more of integration of tech, integration of multidisciplines, as well as looking for the applied aspect of
So
psychology. and the
something which
behavioral
is more
sciences.
Gen Z. something which is more upcoming.
Yes, yes, you can say. So there are
Yeah.
few things like, let's say there is another course which we have introduced. It's called brain-computer interfacing.
Wow.
So all of us have seen the Alexa, right?
Yeah.
We are using Alexa, Siri, and all these, voice, in like voice modulated AI versions. So what about, let's say, if you are not able to speak, people who are paraplegics, people who are not able to speak. So can we help them? So BCI is one of the technology which can actually trace their brain responses when they are looking for any specific command. Let's say if they wanted to move, if there is a paraplegic person who cannot speak, they're sitting on a wheelchair. Now if they have to move ahead or move backward, so every time, this is a journal thing. Every time when we try to do any task, our brain generate a command, and then our executive brain is actually execute that and provide that command to our spinal cord so that our limbs can move
Yeah.
ahead, and that's
Yeah.
how the movement occurs.
Yes.
Now what happens in this BCI applications, one of the applications is that this signal which is generated from the brain will be given as an input to the wheelchair. So in Alexa you have to say, Alexa play a song, and for BCI application you don't have to say, Alexa do this,
Yeah.
Siri do this. You just think about it, close your eyes, and then it is happening.
So we've reached to the conclusion of Rishihood University series, and I'm with the COO. So, ma'am, can you please introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Soumya Agarwal. I work here as Chief Operating Officer, ensuring the entire operations in the university is in shape. And I also look after the student experience, all the out-class experiences of all our learners. I am a graduate from Lady Shri Ram College. I studied sociology. After that, I did my post-graduation in entrepreneurship from Paris. And since then, it's been 10 years I've been working in the education space.
That's wonderful, ma'am. And what are some tips that you would like to give to the students who are watching this right now? And I mean, we've talked to teachers, we've talked to dean, and I've heard so much about Rishihood in terms of there is counseling center, there is laboratories, like there are so much. But there is also some programs that I've heard that there is global study program. Can you tell me about that?
So basically, the whole idea is how do we give global exposure to learners in university, and for that we have planned like a specialized program where students go to specific countries for 10 days once in a year. So last year they went to Singapore, they learned about the technology, the infrastructure, the development in Singapore, and how, for example, Andaman and Nicobar Islands, can that be a Singapore of this area? So they learn, they come up with new ideas and try to implement it here. This year they went to China, which was again a very eye-opening experience for them, because they realized there's so much that India can learn from China. They come up with more confidence of the potential that India holds. They're also able to relate a lot of their in-class experience to what can be done in India through their learnings from the countries they
Wonderful,
work.
wonderful. And why specifically you wanted to integrate this into the curriculum?
I think curriculum for us, it's very, very important to give real-time exposure to learners. We don't suffice them into four walls. They just don't read books and learn. There's a lot of things that they do outside the classroom. So they go for internships. It's mandatory 2 semesters in 4 years. A lot of internships are compulsory during summers. We also encourage entrepreneurship. We have something called Makers Fund, where we support their entrepreneurial journey. So the entire experience of giving, the entire motivation of giving them outclass experience makes us to give, design something where they're also learning from countries which have achieved, which have developed, which are in that set of their growth journey, which can then be brought to India as well.
Okay.
We also focus a lot on impact. So for us, it's just not about growing your own career, but also what you can give back to society and to nation. And for that,
Wonderful.
learning from outside becomes very essential.
Wow. So, can you also tell me about any other USP that you think Rishihood offers to student?
I think Rishihood overall as an experience, it's just not the curriculum, it's just not this experience, but once you enter this place, the entire experience is very unique from many other universities out here. So we have activities planned from 5 a.m. in the morning till late at night. So it starts with yoga, meditation, to a lot of inter-student competitions that they keep they design themselves. That happens at night during 11, late at night. So the entire being in the university in itself is a USP, the way it is designed. You will see a very good mix of having a tech lab along with the human augmentation lab, but you will also see a meditation room with Havan happening monthly. So that's like the campus itself. Apart from that, the entire focus of not being just a placement agency. So that we, from the day one, we were very, very clear. We just don't want to be a placement agency. We have to contribute to the larger good, and that's like our orientation. We always keep saying, it's just not personal. It has to be professional. It has to be public.
Absolutely.
We have to create learners who think in all three directions.
एंड मैम आपका पर्सपेक्टिव उस चीज़ में क्या है कि जैसे आप बोलते हैं कि साइकोलॉजी में स्कोप नहीं है, तो इस चीज़ में जैसे मैं काफ़ी ट्राई कर रही हूँ टू टेल पीपल कि नहीं ऐसा नहीं है, स्कोप है. आपको इस चीज़ को लेके क्या व्यू पॉइंट है अबाउट साइकोलॉजी एंड इट्स स्कोप?
इट इज़ अ वेरी गुड सब्जेक्ट, दिस इज़ वन थिंग. एंड आफ्टर कोविड इसका तो बहुत वेटेज है, बिकॉज व्हेन वी रिकॉल दैट कोविड टाइम, मेंटल एंग्जाइटी, डिप्रेशन, एवरीथिंग इज़ देयर इन आवर लाइफ, है ना. तो ये वर्ड्स हम सुनते थे, एंड एट दैट टाइम से ही साइकोलॉजी बहुत फेमस, बहुत पॉपुलर हो गया है. तो साइकोलॉजी में स्कोप बहुत ज़्यादा है. यू विल बिकम अ साइकोलॉजिस्ट, यू विल बिकम अ काउंसलर, यू विल बिकम अ क्लिनिकल साइकोलॉजिस्ट, यू विल बिकम अ साइकोलॉजी टीचर ऑल्सो. और सबसे बड़ी बात, कुछ अगर आपको लगता है साइकोलॉजी में आप नहीं जा रहे, I personally believe when you study psychology, when you are imbibed in this subject, you are able to manage your professional and personal life both.
आप अपने बारे में कितना कुछ सीखते हो?
क्योंकि आप जब खुद बैलेंस करना सीखोगे, आपका जो हमें स्पेशली अपने रिलेशंस में प्रॉब्लम्स आती है, तो हम रिलेशनशिप मैनेजमेंट काउंसलर्स के पास जाते हैं.
Exactly.
वो आपको नहीं जाना पड़ेगा, बिकॉज यू नो द साइकोलॉजी ऑफ योर सेल्फ एंड द पर्सन्स एसोसिएटेड विद यू.
So, but this is a little personal question. I actually have never talked to a person with such an experience. And as my name, Gen Z therapist, so I am representing the entire Gen Z with me. What do you think we as Gen Z are lacking that you're seeing that, आपको ऐसा लग रहा है कि Gen Z के बच्चों में कुछ थोड़ा सा आपको लग रहा है that we lack, and there are scope of improvement that you feel as a senior person?
Okay, I'll say again in two parts. They are not only lacking, they are blessed also. Because the kinds of technology which has changed now, it's a blessing also, and they are tech savvy. So that's a positive point also. So I'm not saying only the lacking part. Yes. Second part, that tech, in case they are tech savvy, they are able to use it. Otherwise, sometimes they become tech dependent or tech slave.
I agree.
Which definitely reduces your attention span, concentration. These are all well documented researches. So I think in case if they can start meditating or playing music, it will bring back those potentials also. That's what is my suggestion.
Okay. So, sir, if a 12th class student is watching you right now, what do you think are some USPs of Rishihood psychology department per se that can help them to make their decision if they really want to join Rishihood?
I'll say three special. There are many, but I am covering only three. One is we have got truly multidisciplinary curriculum design. Two, we are covering from elemental to experimental to experiential. So we are covering the whole experimental aspect, live projects. So that is second part. Third part, I think I have initially also told that we are preparing them, whether it is India or abroad, whether it is research or their own startup. And still I like to add on that present generation is actually excellent. Only thing is they have to groom well, which Rishihood is trying their level best.
I agree, sir. Sir, what I feel is that with so many options, we've also become very impatient. And I have personally, when I'm interacting with Gen Z, what I have learned is when it comes to a little bit of discipline and little bit of that grounding, therein I feel that we can work better. What do you think when it comes to discipline, consistency? I mean, you have an experience of working with army and defense. So where do you think that we can, improve? हमें ऐसी कौन सी, जैसे आपने meditation बताया, I would love to know ऐसी कौन सी चीज़ें हैं जो हम improve कर सकते हैं?
Okay. Firstly, in that, I'll tell you the initial steps of Rishihood. Like we have got a Rishihood University Foundation Program, RUFP.
Okay. Yes.
So that is giving them a holistic development. As you said it for discipline, or as I said it for meditation. So we are trying to develop them holistically, not only academically.
ठीक है.
That is what as far as Rishihood is concerned. But as such, if you are asking for Gen Z, yes, they should select where to go, not based on government or a private university, but based on, I normally say in 3 words, based on decision of what is a kind of a curriculum which they are going to be exposed to, which is the faculty who are going to facilitate them for that curriculum.
Yeah.
3, whether the kinds of facility that university or that faculty is exposed to.
Absolutely.
So based on this, they should decide. I'm sure they'll be able to do wonders.
So आप बोल रहे हो कि ऐसे कोर्स में आप लोग एक्चुअली उनको बताओगे how to design such programs?
Yes. ये सारी चीजें उसमें हैं, not just the program but the hardware integration कैसे करना है, that is also part of this BCI course.
Wow, that's amazing. So sir, what is your view when people say that clinical है, counseling है, but when it comes to neuropsychology or cognitive science, people usually take a step back, especially for India. What is your view on कि इन चीज़ों का scope in India?
Unfortunately, there's one thing which is pretty common in Indian mindset, because most of the decisions are done by, at least for the 11th, 12th, the stakeholders are parents. So they decide for their what they wanted to do, how they are going to get any job after
Yeah.
this. Knowledge is something which was a part of a missing kind of thing. So we tried to bridge this gap by giving them internships so that they will get skills itself. Along with the skills, they will also get a few of the courses which are designed on the basis of how you can do research. So research is not something which, if you plan to do research, you have to do PhD. Every day we do some kind of research. If you put any structure into that methodology, that is going to give you an advantage of it, right?
Yeah.
So all the learners are learning the research methods are few of the courses. There are quantitative, qualitative analysis which they learn.
Yes.
So my perspective is that there are a lot of things to do in the research domain, and it's not just for the side of just doing paper publications, doing your PhD, but actually these are the applied side of it. Let's say if I talk about BCI, if I talk about neurofeedback, therapeutic modules, to make any therapeutic modules to be made on virtual reality or augmented reality. Few things which they can use, they can provide input to AI. AI is something right now which is struggling with the emotions or affective part.
Right.
And it's difficult to integrate emotions. Human emotions is very difficult to integrate into that, because they look for the data maybe based on the facial expressions, body language, and possibly by the heart rate and brain scans. But apart from that, the actual reason of that emotion is somehow it's still not able to trace down. So if this part can also be integrated, they will be able to do that. So this is few of the areas which I told you that part of neuropsychology, cognitive neuroscience, cognitive neuropsychology research can be done in that.
One interesting fact that I just got to know that you also have CUET toppers studying here.
Yes.
Why would they choose Rishihood over? You've studied from LSR, I studied from LSR, but then why Rishihood?
I think one of the reasons that she herself says is she preferred Rishihood over another government institute was primarily because of the curriculum. Because our curriculum is refined every year. It's not something that we designed 10 years back and we are following it even today. So our curriculum is refined every year based on the industrial norms, based on what the society is asking for, what the market is preparing them for. Overall, the facilities are very well. It's not like a sarkari facility where fans are very
Yeah.
old and the desks are very old. That has been our experience, you know.
Yes.
So our facilities are top notch. Our hostel facility is world class. We have multiple world class research facilities also there for learners who can, you know, start their research journey from day one. So that sort of facility you don't get in many other universities, especially the government universities,
Yeah.
and the faculty as well.
Yeah, I mean, जितना मेरा student के साथ interaction रहा है, they are getting research, they're getting this multidisciplinary approach. So
Agreed,
that's amazing.
Yeah, so someone from psychology can also study marketing, someone
Yeah.
from psychology can also study AI, someone from psychology can easily study design, entrepreneurship. So it opens doors of opportunities for them.
Any last minute tips for students जो देख रहे हैं, घबराए हुए हैं, नहीं समझ आ रहा कहाँ जाना है, क्या करना है, तो कुछ भी आप as a teacher कुछ उन्हें कहना चाहते हो?
I just say one thing to each and everyone. It's not only for learners, it's for everyone. Believe in yourself, live life to the fullest because जिंदगी ना मिलेगी दोबारा. So enjoy your life to the fullest.
वाओ, ऐसे बहुत कम टीचर्स हैं जो हमें जिंदगी जीने के लिए कह रहे हैं. So thank you so much.
Thank
ma'am.
you, Chi. Thank you.